Make some noise right now for Laura House, everybody. Laura!
Hi, everybody. Oh, hello. I like that personal. I was like literally lost backstage. Look at this. Look at all this. Look, we have gallows. Pressure's on. Hope I'm funny. Oh my God. Anyway, you weren't that funny. You'll be home. What play are you guys doing? We can cuss in church. Like we didn't already when we were little. I grew up in Texas. I don't live there anymore because I can read. Listen. It's lovely. It's full of great people. You just never hear about them. My brother, so I saw my brother recently, and he goes to strip bars a lot, which of course is fine. But he's in denial about it. He makes fun of other guys in there like he's not one. He's like, yeah, there's this one guy in there. What a loser. I see him in there every day. I'm adopted. I do want to do a TED Talk about it. I mean, when you get to wheel out your adopted material, when you say, let's just consider ourselves special, and when you say adoption to like civilians, they're like, oh. What did I do? Oh my God, I'm just a cute baby trying to find somewhere to live. Everybody's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, what, you're an orphan? You learn to sing and dance? You've seen the movie? I love it. I have like dual lives. I have a friend who's not adopted. Sorry about that weirdo. I was like, let me get this straight. You grew inside your mother. And you came out, and you were hungry, and you ate her boob. And now you both just act like that didn't happen. It's Thanksgiving, hey, pass the rolls. You're not like, I was in you! Oh my God! I came out of a stranger. I was like, whoa! That was very intense. I cut the cord. I was like, good day, sir. I said good day. I'm gonna find people I didn't come out of. Make it work. It's fun on stage. You can act out a whole thing. Gallows! I actually found my family. I come from a great family, good people, but I always wondered, I was always told I was adopted. So that was never a surprise to me. But I had this sense, I was like, okay, I knew babies came out of ladies, but my mom couldn't make a baby. And so she like got me from like the store or whatever. And I was like, I get it, like we're not farmers, but we eat salad. You get stuff from the store. We can't make everything. And when Dad didn't make that stereo, you get things from a store. Like sofa, fridge, me, my brother Matt. Like, okay, normal. But I also knew that ladies made babies, so I was like, got it. You know, like a kid, like, all they need is like 2 pieces of information and they're like, I get it. So I was like, okay, there must be ladies out there having all the babies for everybody. Like Handmaid's Tale. I figured out when I was 6. I was like, I get it. I mean, I assume they like their job as much as anyone. But what I had to learn, so I was about 10 years old, a neighbor down the street was pregnant, and I was like, oh, she must be one of those baby having ladies. And then she had the baby and was like feeding. We were down there visiting, and she's like, I didn't know she was feeding, but like the baby's at her boob, and like we never did that in my house. Like That wasn't something I'd been around. So I was like, whoa, why does she still have that baby? So I had some questions. You're keeping it? When does it go to its real family? What are you doing? Why don't you let them have it? Are you going to have another baby? How many babies do you have to have for your job? She made me go talk to my mom, and that's when I found out not everybody was adopted. I was like, oh no! I was like, this is where babies come from. Oh no, just a couple of us. All right, well that's fine. So I became very fascinated with like, who's this woman I came out of, and through the adoption agency, I like filled out forms and I tried to find her, and I couldn't. Like it didn't work until 23andMe. Boy, has that blown up some family secrets, right? Because I sort of couldn't contact her through the other channels, and a friend of mine we were at work one day, and she said, oh my God, I just found out I'm like 68% Swedish on 23andMe. And she told me about it, and I was like, I want to find out how much Swedish I am. I also want to catfish my birth mother. I don't want anything from her. I just want to see. I want a picture. I want to. Do we have the same nose? Do we like? Wah? And so I ended up finding. I got there was nothing for. I don't know. Has anybody done 23andMe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not enthusiastic. I believe I have. When you do it, you'll get a ping, and it's a very exciting message. It's like, you have new DNA relatives. And then it's like, sixth cousin. Always a sixth cousin. Useless. A sixth cousin. We're all sixth cousins. I don't care. You don't have my nose. Sixth cousin. And so, but one day I got a message, and it said, hey, it looks like I might be your half-brother. I didn't know I never even thought about it. So I'm a big sister. I've never been a big sister. I have 2 younger half-brothers. Nice. Wow, pretty cool. 2 half-brothers, which makes 1 whole brother, which is nice. And it opened up this whole world to me. It was wild. It was like I met a birth mother, cousins. I met aunts and uncles, and I met my 100-year-old grandmother. Wow. Yeah, that deserves applause. 100? Yes, sure. She can hear you probably. But I was like, oh my, like I didn't just find out if I was Swedish or whatever. I found out I'm unbreakable. 100-year-old grandmother, I'm never gonna die. That is unreal, and I can't afford it. So it's like a mixed. I may have to start smoking or something, but we may have to temper that gene pool a little bit. But it was amazing to meet everybody. And when I met my younger brother Jeremy, so 2 younger brothers, Jeremy, we all have the same mom, different dads. Jeremy is black, or he's half black, and I was like, I found out at 47. I was like, God, it's so weird to find out when you're 47 that there is one cool thing about you. Unbelievable. He said this to me, and I couldn't believe it. He goes, so he said he'd been looking for me, and he said he had heard that, they'd been told that there was a sister, she had given up a baby for adoption. They were told in high school, and but he didn't know much about it. So I met him, so I know him like half hour. I know just a little bit, and he goes, I was always afraid I would accidentally have sex with you. And I've never had a little brother, so I was like, is that just how guys think? I was like, oh, that's weird. I met my other younger brother, Josh, and I know him like 5 minutes, very early in the conversation, he said, I was always afraid I would accidentally have sex with you. And I was like, these poor guys have been haunted their entire... What a method of birth control. Even non-adoptees can do that. Hey, by the way, there's somebody out there you shouldn't have sex with. Anyway, enjoy high school. Go get them. These guys were just like, don't go in her. Oh my God. Whatever you do. I told my Texan dad. My dad who raised my dad he's a grumpy Texan guy. He's an international expert in how they get you. And I mean, if they're gonna get you, he knows exactly how they're gonna get you. Nobody's getting him because he is on it. And he's not shy about sharing that information. My dad was he's the kind of guy that's like, even when he's, like, he sounds mad no matter what, he's ended up with like a resting dick face, basically. Like, he's just like no matter what he says, it comes out angry. He's like, who wants a sandwich? Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas! Like, he's holding presents, so it just comes out like angry dad. And growing up, my mom would always like try to temper that. Like, it was a kind of an Edith Archie situation. And like, he would come through like after school, like we're working on our homework or whatever, and he'd come through like, pick that up and do your homework and go to your room, make your bed. And she would like shuffle behind him and kind of apologize. She would like, oh, your dad's just happy you're home. Dad just wants you to do well in school. Oh, your dad's looking forward to having dinner with you. And I was like, that is not, he didn't say any of that. She was like his press secretary. My mom was just this dad apologist. I mean, it worked. So I told him when I found my birth family, I was like, I met my birth family on the internet. I mean, first of all, I don't know if you know this about the internet. It's where they get you. He made that very clear. He was like, so I told him, I go, I met my little brother Jeremy. He's like a fundraiser he raises money for schools that have kids with disabilities. It's incredible. And I met my grandmother. She's 100 years old. It's amazing. And my dad goes, that's a scam. He goes, fundraiser? Oh, gonna need $500 for this, $600. Oh, Grandma, we need money for Grandma's funeral. Gonna need $6,500 for that. It's like a very specific amount for how. And I was like, I don't think it's a scam, but also, what if it is? What a fantastic long con. They deserve the money. Can you imagine, like in 1970, we need some money. Should we get jobs? No. I'll make a person. Then we wait. She'll be back. All we need are personal computers, internet. Don't ask me, I can't explain it. Reasonably priced DNA testing, and we'll get her. I would write you a check for that plan. That would be amazing. So it's really nice to have this whole family. It's incredible because I have to kind of I have a very small family. I'm in the process of trying to make more family. It's kind of a fun adult thing you get to do. Is kind of make more family. Like I got engaged recently. Thank you. Okay, two things. One, he's great. Thank you for the congrats. But also, I gotta say, you don't know him or me. I don't know what you think you're happy about. Like, culturally, we're all like, yay, love, but marriages, you've seen them. What are we really cheering on? Like, for example, every time there's a dead body in the world, the automatic suspect is the spouse. Like every time, like that's what our country thinks of marriage. Like I've studied law and order, and every episode, there's somebody laying there, and it's like, who could it be? I don't know. Did somebody love them? Let's start there. Like that is. We celebrate marriage, but it's murder school. But it does make me rethink the gift registry, like not getting you a knife set, right? Not gonna be an accomplice when this goes south. I am very excited for this man. Here's how I know it's good, because we met old. I don't know if anybody's had old love in here. It's better.
Oh.
Like young love is like, it's celebrated, it's in the songs and movies, and like young love has that first, litany of first, right? I've never said this to anyone, but I love you. I've never felt this way before. Like it's intense. Like, I've never done this. Old love. Said it, did it a lot, did it with people you wouldn't even recognize if you were in an Uber with them. Did it. Felt it, like old love has a lot of like, you have to give context. Like, I have said this before, but this feels different. To be fair, I've said that before too, but this really feels different. It gets to be like the rehearsal. But also I'm so happy one person enjoyed that rehearsal. It really is a lot of unpacking. But no, it's old love, which is great because we know each other. Like young love is insecure. Like, is this gonna last? And old love is like, no, none of it lasted. Now it's us. You just have like reasonable expectations. Like, I don't know, I love this is forever or whatever. Let's just be honest as we move forward down the aisle. It's less I do and more you'll do. Anyway, you understand. Old love. It is really nice because we found each other in our 40s, and like, if you find somebody you like in your 40s, it's a really big deal because people in their 40s don't like anybody. It's very important. I have a friend who is a narcissist, and she always thinks I'm talking about her, except when I say the words, I have a friend who's a narcissist. And she's like, who could that be? It's outrageous. I always grew up, I was always like a smart ass growing up and stuff, and my family raised me very nice people, but very normal, very, very regular. I'm like the gonzo of the Muppets in my family. I'm a little like the town drunk in my family. Listen, so it's probably more accurate. Like, I don't drink anymore, but when I did, I gotta say, I would make out with you. And I don't mean like you or you, I mean like, that's my superpower. I will like punch you in the mouth with my mouth. That is my, if I'm drinking. So I grew up with this like confidence, but when I met my birth family, it was amazing because they were like me. That's what I always wondered about. Like, did they have my, I'd never known anybody who shared DNA or, blood or anything. And then when I met them, we were all going out to dinner, and we were standing, for example, and I was just kind of standing like this, and I looked at my birth mother, and she was standing complete mirror image. It was like same, she's like same hand and same, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'd never been around DNA before. It was incredible. And when I first met my brother, he was the first one, my younger brother Jeremy, he was the first person who I was a DNA relative, and I just wanted to touch his face. I made myself not do it because I knew that maybe would be weird. But I just wanted to oh my God. I just wanted to Lionel Richie hello video his face. Look at you, the nose. Oh man, that's amazing. And when I met my birth mother, first of all, the 100-year-old grandmother called me and was like, look, I'm 100, so I don't really waste time with things. I want to meet you. And even for this phone call to happen, she tells me on the phone, she said, I had to sit in a chair and crying, because on the phone she said, I got to hold you one time. She said, and I just prayed you found a good family and had a good life. And every year, I've said a prayer for you on your birthday, March 21st. And I was like, it's March 20th. It's okay. into that phone call. Like the last time we had met, there were no cell phones. There was no any of this. Like the whole world changed. And then we came back together, and I met her. And when I met I gave her a hug, and I met my birth mother, and I gave her a hug, and she like held me and rocked me, and you know, it was amazing when we'd been talking on the phone. She was like, "Oh my God, we're just so excited that Jeremy found the baby," and I'm like this 47-year-old baby. The baby's back, yeah. And I hugged her, and then she took a step back and she looked at me and she said, "You've grown." Amazing. You guys enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy church.
Our house, everybody.